Welcome to the Cincinnati Teacher Evaluation Orientation Meeting. Cincinnati Public Schools recognizes the importance of using teacher evaluation to promote educator professional growth. Professional growth that improves instructional performance and student learning. The Ohio Teacher Evaluation System, or OTES 2.0, will be used during the 2020-21 school year as a growth model when evaluating teachers to identify instructional strengths and support their teaching in order to improve the quality of instruction students receive. So who gets evaluated? Any person who is employed under a teaching license or under a professional or permanent teacher certificate. Who is not evaluated is anyone who is on leave from school more than 50% of the school year, or someone who declares their intent to retire by September 30th. During the pandemic crisis, CPS elected not to complete the evaluations that were not already done prior to the COVID-19 crisis. Teachers that had incomplete evaluations for 2019-20 as a result of the COVID-19 crisis will maintain the rating and evaluation cycle that was in place at the start of the 2019-20 school year in 2020-21. For example, if a teacher was skilled at the start of the 2019-20 school year, they are now skilled at the start of the 2021 school year. They will now follow the same cycle they would have in 2019-20 with a full evaluation. Teachers that did not complete their evaluation cycle in 2019-20 will follow the evaluation requirements based on their 2019-20 final summary. Student growth measures will not be required components in the 2020-21 evaluation cycle. Evaluators should not use the evidence of student learning component of the teacher performance evaluation rubric during the 2020-21 evaluation cycle. Resident Educator Summative Assessment, or the RESA. Teachers attempting the RESA for the first time and not new to CPS shall receive one informal observation and a final summative conference. Teachers will complete a collaborative professional growth plan. Non-teaching certificated staff, such as psychologists, OT, PT, speech, and coaches. All non-teaching certificated staff will be evaluated using the same process and forms as last year: professional growth plan, improvement plan, final formative observation, and or informal observation walkthrough forms. Those not directly involved in the instruction of students who are evaluated using the OTES rubric will be evaluated using an adapted ESP or out-of-classroom rubric. Hard copies of the OTES forms should be used to document evaluations. The final summative form shall be turned in to Human Resources. The Cincinnati Teacher Evaluation System Annual Evaluation Progressive Model includes a self-assessment, which is optional, pre-conference prior to the announced observation. Pre-conference may be accomplished digitally if mutually agreed upon, except the novice first year resident educators. Then there's one formal holistic announced observation in cycle 1, followed by a post-conference to identify focus areas, which must occur 15 days of the first formal observation as per Section 210 of the CBA, and then a professional growth plan. Then there should be 2 informal observations or walkthroughs. This is an opportunity to collect evidence on specific areas identified for focus. These can be done in OhioES or completed during the observation using the forms loaded on Schoology and uploaded to the attachment into OhioES. Please note, informal walkthroughs can be replaced with a conference based on the areas of focus. For instance, if the area of focus is on lesson planning or creating quality assessments, this might be better observed in a conference and not in the classroom. Then there will be 1 formal unannounced observation, an opportunity to collect evidence on specific areas identified for focus, and 11 other areas where evidence is present. Finally, 1 final summative conference. Keep in mind, all certificated staff are on a regular annual evaluation unless they have requested a credentialing evaluation to get lead teacher and or continuing contract status. Teachers whose evaluation was comprised of performance and student growth in 2017-18 or 2018-19 and who received an accomplished final summative rating carried forward in a school year will have it carried forward in the 2020-21 school year based on COVID-19 restart. These teachers are not scheduled for a full evaluation. Teachers meeting this criteria shall receive 1 informal observation and a final summative conference. Teachers will complete a self-directed professional growth plan. An accomplished teacher may request to be fully evaluated. Accomplished teachers in OhioES will have observation 1 and 2 grayed out in the system. 2 formal classroom observations conducted during the school year. The holistic observation, which occurs first, will be announced. The holistic observation will include a pre-conference to discuss what the evaluator will observe during the observation. The pre-conference may be accomplished digitally if mutually agreed upon, except for novice first-year resident educators. A post-conference for feedback and evidence should occur within 15 days of the formal observation. The teacher and evaluator will set a time for the formal observation to take place. Renegotiate this scheduled date and time as necessary if the observation is not conducted as planned. Record script notes in the observation notes section of OhioES within 15 days. The informal observation should only be used in the holistic scoring of the evaluation. Administrators may complete additional non-evaluative observations throughout the year. Informal observations are 2 classroom walkthroughs ranging from 10 to 15 minutes in length. All available evidence will be gathered in other domains during classroom walkthroughs. However, evidence needs to be intentionally collected on the focus areas if observed. Please note, informal walkthroughs can be replaced with a conference based on areas of focus. These are to be completed in OhioES within 15 days of the observation. The OhioES CWTs are required. What is a focus area? Well, focus. Up to 2 areas of focus will be identified to intentionally collect evidence during the remaining observations and cycles following the holistic observation. These may be areas of growth or strength. All available evidence will be gathered in other domains during an observation. However, evidence needs to be intentionally collected on the focus areas. Documents to be completed by teacher in Ohio ES. The professional growth plan will be collaboratively completed in the post-conference following the holistic observation. Improvement plan should be initiated by the administrator and completed collaboratively. Pre-conference information must be completed by the teacher prior to the announced formal observation for the evaluator to use as evidence. The documents needed to be completed and or uploaded in Ohio ES system. All forms needed can be found in the CTES Schoology course. The access code is RNCS-95T8-ZG9ZB. OTES 2.0 has a framework. The framework ranges from an ineffective rating to an accomplished rating. So the areas of the framework are ineffective, developing, skilled, and accomplished. If you are rated among those 4 areas, the components of the full evaluation cycle would include professional growth plan, improvement plan, formal holistic observation followed by a conference, classroom walkthroughs, formal focus observation with an emphasis on a focus area, and then a final summative conference. If rated, skilled, or accomplished, components of the optional less frequent evaluation cycle would include professional growth plan, 1 observation, 1 conference with discussion of progress on professional growth plan. The OTES 2.0 framework provides opportunities for the teacher and evaluator to discuss evidence, build a common understanding of a teacher's current practice, and identify areas for future growth. When evaluating teachers, we are using a growth model. This is essential to improving the quality of instruction that students receive. Such a model recognizes the teacher's instructional strengths while identifying and supporting improvement where needed. All staff are required to write a professional growth plan. Professional growth plans help teachers focus on areas of professional development that will enable them to improve their practice. Teachers will identify up to 2 goals. OTES 2.0 shifts gears by moving away from just a rubric and more of a focus on professional growth plans. During the post-conference of the holistic formal observation, the teacher and evaluator will collaborate on professional growth goals. Once the goal is agreed upon, the teacher will initiate his or her professional growth plan in Ohio ES and notify or pin it to the principal. As a reminder, all evaluated staff write a professional growth plan. The growth plan should be based on the results of the evaluation and may also align to the district and or building improvement strategies and include the following: identification of areas for future professional growth, outcomes that will enable the teacher to increase student learning and achievement, and specific resources and opportunities to assist the teacher in enhancing skills, knowledge, and practice. A plan of improvement may be initiated at any time during the evaluation cycle by the evaluator based on ineffective practices and performance as documented by evidence collected by the evaluator. A plan may also be initiated at the beginning of the year if the previous year's final summative score was ineffective. A conference, which initiates the evaluation process, should be held for the evaluator and teacher to determine actions to be taken, sources of evidence that will be examined, and date for improvement plan to be evaluated. When an improvement plan is initiated by an administrator, it is the responsibility of the administrator to document concerns in Ohio ES or for non-teaching staff on the improvement plan forms found in Schoology. If an individual started the 2019-2020 school year with an improvement plan based on their 2018-19 evaluation that resulted in an overall ineffective rating, they will start the 2020-21 school year on an improvement plan. This is based on our restart with the 2019-20 evaluation cycle and status. However, if the 2019-2020 improvement plan was completed prior to the closing of schools, then the improvement plan is no longer required. Improvement plans that are based on a fully complete evaluation during the 2019-20 school year prior to March and have an overall ineffective rating will start out the 2020-2021 school year with an improvement plan. Improvement plans initiated as a result of informal/formal observations during the 2019-20 evaluation cycle will not carry over into 2020-21. Now let's talk about high-quality student data. Teachers will use at least 2 measures of high-quality student data for the purpose of teacher evaluation to provide evidence of how a teacher collects, analyzes, and uses student data, including student academic growth data. High-quality student data is used to adapt instruction to meet individual student needs or improve practice. Evidence will be collected as part of the holistic evaluation process and is not an isolated measurement. Evidence on how teachers use the data, not calculating the scores, should be obtained. Examples of assessments that generate high-quality student data are listed on this screen. Please pay close attention. The high-quality student data instrument used must have been rigorously reviewed by experts in the field of education to meet the following criteria: alignment to learning standards. It should measure what is intended to be measured, not offend or be driven by bias, be attributable to specific teacher for course and grade level taught, demonstrate evidence of student learning, achievement and or academic growth, follow protocols for administration and scoring, and provide trustworthy results. The teacher must use the data generated from the high-quality student data instrument by critically reflecting upon and analyzing available data, using the information as part of an ongoing cycle of support for student learning, considering student learning needs and styles, identifying the strengths and weaknesses of an entire class as well as individual students, informing instruction, adapting instruction to meet student needs based upon information gained from the data analysis, and measuring student learning, achievement and or academic growth, as well as progress towards achieving the state and local standards, is not to be a component evidence of student learning on the teacher's performance evaluation rubric for 2.0 during 2020-21 school year. All certificated staff evaluation documentation will be recorded in Ohio ES system. For technical support questions regarding OTES, please contact the state support. Staff not in Ohio ES, such as long-term subs, speech and language pathologists, occupational therapists, coaches, librarians who are not load-bearing, and psychologists, you will use the forms found in Schoology. The final summative form only for certificated staff not recorded in Ohio ES must be turned into HR. That concludes our presentation for Part 1. Please review the next video, Support for Identified Deficiencies.